the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, October 26, 2015. The roll will show that all council members are present with the exception of Councilman Wadsworth.
He's excused.
Thank you. We have an amended agenda this evening. The Finance Department amended the warrant to include 2 additional items. So you have an amended agenda in front of you, which includes that new amount. Number 1 is the agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6A clerk's report, 6B treasurer's report, 7 public comment, 8 unfinished business, 9 new business, 10 communication, 11 amended warrant, and 12 adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Choate, for approval of the amended agenda as presented. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Agenda approved.
2A is approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held on October 12, 2015.
So move for approval of the minutes from October 12th, 2015.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held October the 12th, 2015. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Abstain, I was absent.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair abstains. Motion approved.
2B is approval of the minutes from the special meeting held on Monday, October 12, 2015, at 6:30 PM, the closed session regarding pending legal matters.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the minutes from the special meeting held on Monday, October the 12th, 2015, at 6:30, closed session, pending legal matters. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Abstain.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair abstain. Motion approved.
We have no petitioners this evening, so we will go on to the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. First of all, I want to thank Linda Choate for filling in for me last council meeting. Thank you, Linda. And at this time, I wanted to wish Councilman Wadsworth a speedy recovery. He had some surgery, and we wish him well, a happy recovery, Wadsworth. And this time, Chair, I want to recognize Councilwoman Abdo.
Thank you. Since Mr. Barden is not going to brag about the Lions today, I would like to at least announce some of our local football teams. The middle school football team and the high school JV football team are undefeated for the season this year.
Right.
And although we're not undefeated, the RHS varsity team made it into the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. They'll be playing this Friday in Chelsea.
Right.
Oh, go Eagles.
Good, good.
That's it.
Also, I'd like to wish my baby sister happy birthday. Today is her birthday, and I'd just like to say happy birthday to my baby sister, Jacqueline Barker. With that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved, and thank you.
5A is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, treasurer, deputy clerk, and audience.
Tonight, the quote I brought goes as this: "True leaders don't create followers. True leaders create more leaders." And I picked that one because I wanted to recognize one of our leaders tonight and talk a little bit about him. On Friday, October 23rd, Romulus Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Kraus participated in the Eastern Michigan University School of Fire Staff and Command Executive Leadership Program graduation ceremonies. The Staff and Command class provided additional education for fire service administration in effective administration and specialized skills, including additional training in Homeland Security matters. Deputy Chief Kraus completed the 350 classroom hour training over a period of 9 months, during which he was elected and served as his class president over 42 graduates. So I just wanted to say to our Deputy Chief, Kevin Kraus, good job, congratulations. And I would like to ask if council be willing to do a resolution in recognition of his accomplishments, please.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Kraut, a resolution from Mr. Kraut. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. I think we do have a video clip to run on some updated events. I'll get a couple more announcements and we'll get into the rest of the report. Mike?
Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Dancy. Here's what's coming up around Romulus. Our second annual Veterans Day Parade is coming up on Wednesday, November 11th. The parade will start at 9:30 a.m., beginning at the Progressive Hall, traveling up Goddard to Bibbins, and ending at the Wayne Road Veterans Memorial in front of the Municipal Complex at 11111 Wayne Road. We are seeking any and all veterans and their families to come out and ride in the parade. There will be a float provided for veterans. Any organizations are also invited to participate in the parade with a patriotic or military-themed entry. Please call 734-955-8960 to RSVP or for more information. The Romulus Public Library will be hosting 3 different Halloween events this week. On Tuesday, October 27th, there will be a kids' Halloween party at 6:30 p.m. On Halloween Day, Saturday, October 31st, there will be a teen and tween Halloween party at 1 p.m. Also on Halloween Day, the library will be open for trick-or-treating all day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So stop by to get some goodies before you go out in your neighborhood. For more information about the library's programs, please call 734-942-7589 or visit their website at romulus.lib.mi.us. Another Halloween Day party will be held at the Thomas J. Coleman Community Center, hosted by the APA, or the American Progressive Association. The Coleman Center is located at 35351 Beverly Road. The party will be held on the 31st from 4 to 8 p.m. and is free and open to children ages 1 to 17. There will be a dance contest, games, food, costume contest, music, gifts, and candy giveaways. For more information, please contact event chairperson Barbara Underwood at 734-941-1997. On to other holiday activities. The Romulus Goodfellows applications for aid are now available. Romulus families in need or seniors age 60 and older can pick up applications in person at Romulus City Hall, Fire Department Headquarters, or the Romulus Senior Center during regular business hours. Applications must be postmarked by November 30th to be considered. Goodfellows are also taking applications for ads in their annual newspaper. This publication is distributed to over 5,000 people during paper sales and would be a great alternative to greeting cards to send your holiday wishes this season. Businesses, organizations, individuals, and families are all welcome to place ads. You can find all of this information for aid and advertisements online at www.romulusgov.com/Goodfellows, or feel free to call the Goodfellows hotline at 734-955-4577. Please save the date for some of our other upcoming city events during the approaching holiday season. The Winter Wonderland and official tree lighting will be held on Friday, December 4th. There will be tickets available for a special dinner with Santa at 5 p.m. and the regular ceremony will be at 6 p.m. Also mark your calendars for a new community New Year's Eve party. This party will be held at the Romulus Progressive Hall from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. on December 31st. Proceeds from the party will go to fund the 2016 Movies in the Park series. We will have more details soon about tickets and pricing. This has been Romulus News You Can Use. You can stay connected with us on romulusgov.com or like us on facebook.com/City of Romulus. If you'd like to take another look at this newscast, any of our city council meetings, or other cable programming, please visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/City of Romulus. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great week, everybody.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. Couple other things. I did want to also send out well wishes to Bill Wadsworth. Hope you get up on your feet and going, Bill. We miss you. Also, I do want to ask, some of our residents may recognize this person, but I need to ask council for a memorial resolution for the family of Warren Sprague. If I could get a motion, I'll talk on it briefly.
Support.
Thank you. Warren Sprague came to our community, I guess in early 60s, maybe even late 50s, as a teacher and coach. He kind of started our wrestling program in Romulus. He also played football. He actually wound up having a professional football career, and used to come back and visit and kind of keep in touch with some of the Romulus people here. So I just thought it'd be nice that I learned of his passing yesterday, and just to let people know that their families in our thoughts and prayers. So thank you for that, if you could pass that one.
Okay, it's been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Choate, for a memorial resolution for Mr. Warren Sprague. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Mikowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. And then lastly, on Goddard Road, you should have received a written report. Roberto Scapatici is here if anybody has any other questions, but I promise you we give you regular updates on Goddard Road. So if there's anything that's not in that report, let us know and we can pull on Roberto for that. But a lot of progress on it this last week, and you'll see more in the upcoming week. So that's kind of it for informational items. For my regular action items tonight under my report, what you have before you under 5A is a request to approve the following road closure, and this is November 11th Veterans Day Parade, and we're asking from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for the parade route to go from Progressive Hall, Goddard Road north to Bibbins, all the way to Wayne Road, and then to the Veterans Monument right in front of the court.
So moved. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the closure November 11th, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for the parade from Progressive Hall to Goddard Road North to Bivens East to Wayne Road, ending at Wayne Road Veterans Memorial. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Mikowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5B, and this is just a request to concur with the administration and approve the reappointments of Cindy Croft, Johnston, and Ron Hobson to the DDA board, terms to expire July 31st, 2019.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'll make that motion for the approval of the reappointments of Cindy Croft, Keith Johnston, and Ron Hobson to the DDA board.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Mikowski, to concur with the administration and approve the appointments of Cindy Croft, Keith Johnson, and Ron Hobson to the DDA board, with term to expire July 31st, 2019. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Mikowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next item is 5C, and there's two separate motions needed for that one. The first is to concur with administration for the reappointment of Maria Lambert, Debbie Hoffman, Julie Waitoko, Cynthia Kellerman, Ellen Craig Bragg, Lynn Conway, Mary Druryard to the Romulus Arts Council. Those terms to expire November 11th of 17.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms.
I would like
Choate.
to make that motion that we concur with the administration and reappoint Maria Lambert, Debbie Hoffman, Julie Watoko, Cynthia Kellerman, Ellen Craig Bragg, Lynn Conway, and Mary Druryard to the Romulus Arts Council, terms to expire November 11th, 2017.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Kraut for appointments of the following people as Councilwoman Choke approved. Ms. Choke,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. McCoskey.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next,
There's- There's another one?
yes, the next one is for new appointments.
Yes.
I'm asking for concur with the administration and appoint residents Corey and Emily Beadle to the Romulus Arts Council. Those also will be through November 17th of 2017.
I might as well continue with that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
And that we concur with the administration and appoint residents Corey Beadle and Emily Beadle to the Romulus Arts Council with their terms to expire November 17th, 2017. Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choke, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to concur with the administration to appoint residents Corey Beadle and Emily Beadle to the Romulus Art Council with the term to expire on November the 17th, 2017. Ms. Choke?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. McCoskey?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is a request to approve reappointments, and this would be for the Tifa Board. All reappointments, the names are listed: Matthew Rattary, Michael Hoffman, Emery Long, Don Morris, Randy Moffett, and Jeff Mansfield. Those terms are through November 30th of 19.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'll make that motion to reappoint Matthew Rafferty, Michael Hoffman, Emery Long, Don Morris, Randy Moffett, and Jeffrey Mansfield with terms to expire November 30th, 2019.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Kraut, to approve the reappointments of Matthew Rathbury, Michael Hoffman, Emery Long, Donna Morris, Randy Moffett, and Jeffrey Mansfield with the term to expire on November 30th, 2019. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Choke.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5E. This is a request to appoint myself, Leroy D. Burcroft, as primary designee, and Keith Bach, Assistant DPW Director, as the alternate designee representing the city of Romulus and the Downriver Utility Waste Authority. This change was needed because I was put on the Downriver Utility Waste Authority's negotiation board, and previously we had Roberto and Keith, and to be on a negotiation board and to be able to vote and take action, I needed to be put on this. At some point in time, we may go back to that, but that's what required that change.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to appoint Mayor Leroy Burcroft as the primary designee and Keith Brock, Assistant DPW Director, as the alternate designee representatives for the city of Romulus on the Downtown River Utility Waste Authority. Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choke.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5F, and that's a request to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an attached one-year agreement ending September 30th, 2016, between the city of Romulus and Statewide Security Transportation, Inc., and that's for the transportation of the Romulus Police Department misdemeanor prisoners.
So moved with a request for discussion.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choke, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached one-year agreement ending September 30th, 2016, between the city of Romulus and Statewide Security Transport Incorporated for the transportation of Romulus Police Department misdemeanor prisoners. Discussion.
Yes, thank you. Are these fees recovered from the prisoners?
Josh, can you address that, please?
Good evening, Mayor, Council,
Good evening, Josh.
Treasurer. To answer your question, they are not recovered when they're transported. We utilize statewide to transport our prisoners when the judges at 34th District Court sentence them to either jail time, or it's a case where the prisoners cannot post a bond. They transport them usually to northern Michigan for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
Josh?
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Choke,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is a request to authorize the purchase of Motorola prep radios for Public Safety Department under the State of Michigan contract from a sole source vendor, Motorola Solutions. The contract number is listed there for you. And on an as-need basis, when funds and budget are available, and those funds out of the 911 capital outlay will account for that, until such time that the department no longer uses Motorola radios and the State of Michigan contract for the equipment expires, whichever of those come first.
So moved with a question for discussion.
Support with questions.
Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Abdo, to authorize the purchase of Motorola prep radios for the Public Safety Department under the State of Michigan contract from the sole source vendor Motorola Solutions, contract number, and as needed basis, when funds are budgeted and available in the 911 capital outlay account, which is number 2630197000, until such time that the department no longer uses the Motorola radios or the State of Michigan contract for the equipment expires, whichever comes first. Discussion. Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I felt the motion itself was very confusing. First of all, the as-needed basis. I don't feel comfortable passing something on an as-needed basis. I guess I wanted more definitives.
Motorola is it's the only company in the state that makes our radios that go with our radio system.
Okay.
They also hold the state contract. Our radio system is kind of getting to the point where our prep radios are beginning to age, where we're replacing batteries, antennas, clips.
Okay.
So they're the only company out there that makes these accessories for these radios, and they're the only company that makes radios compatible with our radio system. So that's why we're kind of asking for an as-needed basis, because frankly, it's the only company that we can go through.
Has this money already been set aside and budgeted?
Yes, it has. It's coming out of 911 capital outlay.
Okay.
Ms. Makowski?
Yeah, I was just really following on to that. It's first, why aren't you coming to us when you need to make the purchase? That's what I didn't understand, why we're approving this for a later purchase. For example, do you know you're gonna have to replace 10 and the budget has 10 allocated that you're gonna
Yes,
purchase?
we do.
Okay,
Yep.
if you've got it allocated in the budget, then I'm good. All right, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Captain Monty.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Thank you, Captain Monte. Next up is a request to concur with the administration, authorize the City of Romulus to extend bid 14/15-03, and this is with Liquiforce for an additional 24 months with the contract to expire November 3rd of 17.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration on authorize the City of Romulus to extend bid 14/15-03 with Liquid Force for an additional 24 months with the contract to expire on November 3rd, 2017.
Support.
Discussion.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski, to concur with the administration, authorize the City of Romulus to extend bid 14/15-03 with the Liquid Force for additional 24 months with the contract to expire on November the 3rd, 2017. Discussion. Ms. Abdo.
Yes, is it going to take them 24 months to go through and update and clean the sewers as they're doing?
No, that's just a time frame we've used. This is a continuation. We've used them before,
Okay.
and it was just an extension of the current contract. But we use them on different as-needed basis as well, too, for jobs that we can't do.
Okay, the job that they have done so far, which what they've been doing with the sewers, have they completed that job?
I don't know if they've completed. Roberto, can you answer that?
Good evening, council. This last year, we completed a program in the Oak Brook and Hale Creek subdivision, and now we're moving to the downtown portion of the city where we historically, we know we have some issues. So we did complete like a phase one, we're moving on to a phase two. I predict that within the next couple of years, we're just going to continue to monitor our system and take care and rehab the pipes that are distressed. So each time we go into a section, we are finding distressed pipes, collapsed pipes. We just had a fix on Porter and Goddard with a collapsed sewer there. So it is going to be a continued, program over the next couple of years.
We're targeting certain areas at a time
Yes.
then?
Yep.
Okay.
Question, Linda?
Um,
Ms. Choke?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And that was somewhat my question, that you would tell the audience who Liquid Force is and what they're doing. And I also have a question. I went down the part of Smith Road that goes through the field out there, and there's all of those holes in the road. Is that what they're doing? Did they cut all that concrete out?
Well, to answer the Smith Road, I'll answer it in reverse. The Smith Road, that's our guys. We're actually saw cutting the catch basins and actually reconstructing the structures out there and pouring the pavement back. So that's being work that's being provided by our folks at DPW. Liquiforce is an underground trenchless company. They do not do open excavating. They actually rehab the pipe by putting a liner inside the pipe. So what they're doing for us is they're actually televising the sewer and they're cleaning the sewer. We're analyzing the videotapes and we're taking recommendations from, number one, the contractor, but also our engineers and also the input from our DPW on what pipes we're going to rehab. And basically, we're lining the pipes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Barr.
Thanks, Borough.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Choke?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is a request for introduction of Budget Amendment 15/16-3, and that's to recognize changes in the fiscal year 15-16 school tax captures, principals, and interest payments due based on the refunding and additional issuance of the 2015 Tifa Vining Road project bonds.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Choke, to introduce Budget Amendment 15/16-3 to recognize changes in the fiscal year 15-16 school tax captures, principal interest payments due based on the refunding and additional issuance of the 2015 Tifa Vining Road project bonds. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choke?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5J, and that's just to increase the Pumpkin Fest line item for additional expenses that were incurred for the festival, and you see the attached amounts and explanation.
So moved with questions.
Support. Questions? Discussion?
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Abdo, to increase the Pumpkin Festival line items to pay for the additional expense incurred during the festival. Discussion.
Yes, please.
Yes, Ms. Makowski.
So there was a 30% overage. We paid, or 30% more than budget. Can you, if there aren't line items really here that tell me what happened, what was the deal?
Breakdown of what the government, right. Mary Maria, I guess, Stacy, do you know from DDA what those were?
I would have to refer to Mary or Maria for the line items.
Okay. We can get you the detailed line items.
Ms. Abdo?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable passing a $10,000 overage with nothing here to document what they needed it for. We're just asking for $10,000. I would like to see exactly what we were over on budget and what they're using it for. That-
Sure, Suzanne?
everybody.
Good evening.
Just as a comment, when talking with Mary and Maria in Community Development, they did state that typical expenditures for Pumpkin Fest event are between 40 and 45,000, and they actually budgeted 31. So they actually under budgeted this year originally, not realizing exactly how much the Pumpkin Festival was going to cost. So, and part of the problem is they collect revenues starting in January. So January to June, they're actually collecting revenues for September's Pumpkin Festival. And those revenues are reflected in, like if they were this year, they would have been in 14-15 budget rather than 15-16. So there's always a timing issue. So there is a reporting change that we're going to need to do starting probably in January of 2016, where if they're starting to collect revenues, we're going to defer those revenues so they're reflected in the appropriate year of the event. So that's part of the reason for this is revenues were collected last year, and they actually under-anticipated what they were going to spend. They usually spend about $41,000. I think they budgeted $31,000 originally.
Suzanne, do you know these expenditures compared to prior? I mean, when they budgeted 31, did they think it was going down? Do you have any idea?
I
on
think
that?
so. I thought that they thought their revenues were going to come in and help offset what their expenditures
Okay.
were, and they just didn't get the ad revenue and those types of things. So I think even the year before, the detail that Mary had showed me for the 2014 event was about $45,000 total.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Abdo, you have some
I would
questions?
feel more comfortable if this came back to us with a little bit more than just we want $10,000, a little bit more breakdown as to where everything's going.
You can do that. That's not a problem. I
I
don't think
wouldn't
there's
have any
any
problem, but I
timing issue with it, is there, Suzanne? I mean, we can, introduction of the budget amendment, so we can come back with it. If you want, we can pull this item and,
I would feel more comfortable with a little bit more detail.
Well,
I
part
don't
of the
know if
reason they're doing this budget amendment is there's vendors that haven't been paid. So that's, and the DD has already approved the budget amendment, so that's why we brought it to council.
Okay.
But we can get you more information for sure.
we'll have it for next week if that's okay, so we can get it moving.
Yeah, I think I'd feel more comfortable
So I
with that.
guess if there was a motion, we just
You
have.
want to withdraw your motion?
Withdraw the motion and.
Withdraw your motion?
I'll withdraw. I'll
Okay,
withdraw my
two
motion.
motions
Right,
have
just a
been
little bit more
withdrawn.
information so we see what we're voting on.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Two motions have been withdrawn, waiting for more information.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up is 5K. What you have before you there is an introduction amendment, and that is to adjust the original estimated budget of the actual amount that's remaining in the fund for the DDA construction project, and that was for the 2014 bond issue.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion
Okay, Ms.
to
Ross.
adjust the original estimated budget to the actual amount of remaining funds available for the DDA construction projects from the 2014 bond issue.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski, to adjust the original estimated budget to the actual amount of remaining funds available for DDA construction projects from the 2014 bond issue. Any discussion? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Abdo?
Yes,
Votes yes, motion approved.
Next up is item L. What you have is introduction of budget amendment 15/16-9, and that's to move the unused 14-15 budgeted funds for the police interview room cameras system to the 15-16 budget.
So moved.
support.
Motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Abdo, to introduce budget amendment 15/16-9 to move the unused 14-15 budget funds for the police interview room camera system to the 15-16 budget year. Any discussion? Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes,
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is item M, and that's a request to approve introduction of budget amendment 15/16-10, and that's to adjust the original estimated budget to the actual amount of the remaining funds available in the Goddard Road construction project to cover the additional costs that reflect the additional reimbursements that are expected from the State of Michigan Department of Transportation.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to introduce budget amendment 15/16-10 to adjust the original estimated budget to the actual amount of remaining funds available for the Goddard Road construction project to cover the additional costs and reflect additional reimbursement expected from the State of Michigan Department of Transportation. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
6A1 is the clerk's report. First reading is an ordinance amendment to Chapter 36, Offenses, Article 2, Section 36-30, change the name false alarms to nuisance alarms. There is only one change in the amendment, and it's under D. The third nuisance alarm will be changed to second nuisance alarm.
So moved.
Support.
The motion by Ms. McCoskey, supported by Mr. Kraut, for the first reading of Amendment Romulus Ordinance, Chapter 36, Offenses, Article 2nd, to Section 36-30, to change the name false alarm to nuisance alarm. Change third to second nuisance alarm. Ms. McCoskey.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A2 is a request from Suzanne Marino, Director of Financial Services, to notify council and a review of the revised sewer rates to be effective November 1st, 2015. No action is required unless council disapproves the new sewer rates pursuant to Section 37-112C of the Romulus Code of Ordinances. No action required. If you
Okay.
6B is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, deputy clerk, and residents. I don't have anything about the treasurer's office tonight, but I do want to acknowledge my staff for all of their hard work. I think it's important to do that for all the big things and the little things that they do. Their work ethic is not unnoticed. I appreciate everything that they do. And I'd like to thank Tracy Leininger, Jeremy Taylor, and Bobby Marcel for all that they do. Thank you.
Thank you.
7 is public comment, and this is the portion of the council meeting where the audience may address city council. If you would like to address the council, please raise your hand, and when recognized by the chair, approach the podium and state your name and address. We have no written requests this evening, but however, I was informed that Emily Beadle and Corey Beadle had actually filled out a petitioner request and turned it into another department, and unfortunately, it didn't make its way to the clerk's office. And I was wondering if council would allow them to come under public comment and extend their 3-minute time so they could.
Sure, no problem.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Beadle, and I am a resident here in Romulus and also newly a part of the Romulus Arts Council. And additionally, I'm an artist myself. And what Corey's passing out to you right now is an arts initiative that we're working to bring to Romulus. And it is a Romulus public art project. And this is modeled after public art projects that are done in other communities throughout Michigan. Specifically, Royal Oak and Howell do this really great public art project, which we're modeling ours after. What we're hoping to do, and we're already kind of in the works, is have a outdoor temporary public art installation throughout our city. And what we're asking for is artists to submit digital images of their work, and we're going to meet as an arts council and narrow those down, and then we'll have some form of an arts professional do a final vote of the work. And we're currently hoping to get someone from the DIA to be our final voting person. And then from there, we're going to have the pieces reproduced and displayed somewhere in the city for about a year. The company that we're going through for the reproductions is Lavanway Signs out of Southfield, and they do the reproductions for the DIA's Inside Out program, and they also do Howells and Royal Oaks, so they're very familiar and skilled at this. What a digital reproduction means is we would be producing the work through the image on a weatherproof material, and then either wall mounting it or putting it up freestanding in various locations. And the number of pieces of art would depend on the number of applicants that we get, of course. So we just kind of wanted to let you know that, you know, this is something we'd like to do and something we'd like to bring to Romulus. And we're both very passionate about the arts, and we're hoping we can bring some of that to the city. Any questions?
Okay, any questions?
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I was wondering if by any chance you've contacted the art teacher at the high school to get on board with us.
Not yet, but that is among our plans.
Okay, because she would be a great asset, and I'm sure that she would be totally on board with this, and we get people to
Great.
participate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Makowski.
This sounds really great. So,
Thank you.
just wanted to know, where are you publicizing this? Are we putting something up on the cable channel so people can see this? What's the deal? What do we know?
Well, we've talked to Jasmine about doing a segment on the cable channel. We also have a Facebook group for it, and we've posted on some of the various Romulus Facebook sites. In addition to that, we've contacted over 100 arts associations throughout the whole state of Michigan. The Heidelberg Project has posted about this, the Downriver Council for the Arts, and many organizations. And we're already getting submissions from artists across the state.
Wonderful.
Ms. Roscoe?
I see your deadline's December 15th,
Yes,
so I think that's important for everyone out there to know that it's coming quickly.
yes.
And I just want to say welcome,
Thank you.
and thanks for jumping in with both feet and getting things up and running and coming, and
Thank you.
congratulations on the appointment to the committee.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Ms. Choke.
We have our official newspaper lady
Yes.
is right behind you, and I'm sure she would be willing to place an article in the newspaper for you,
That would be great.
maybe front page.
Yeah.
If we've got
Perfect.
anything to say about it.
A little bit of arm twisting there, Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Any other questions, comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments from the audience?
Um,
I think the gentleman right there was, you had your hand up? And then,
Good evening,
good evening.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council. My wife and I, first of all, would like to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to present to you the most advanced technology that will transform the city of Romulus. My name is David Solomon. I'm a lifelong native of Detroit, and I am a representative of 21 Eagle Global. I'm sure that the main objective for you, the city of Romulus and the nation, is looking for ways to do more with the taxpayers' money and to spend less. I'm here to bring a resolution, an avenue of cost savings and means of generating substantial revenue to the city of Romulus while addressing the most important concerns that pertains to our health, our environment, and our economy. The environmental challenges we face today can be characterized primarily as dilemmas of inefficiency. Inefficient and incomplete diesel and gasoline fuel combustion leads to numerous negative outcomes, including toxic emissions, increased fuel consumption, revenue spending, and even death. The same is true with today's standards in lubrication. It is a fact that 30 to 50% or even 80% of all energy produced by internal combustion engines is lost due to friction. Oil consumption in engines is also a major factor in the creation of toxic emissions, therefore increasing overall operating efficiency of all internal combustion engines and all powered mechanical equipment is the best way to save fuel and energy, reduce pollution, and thus should be our first priority. The MXM technology, which I'm here to expose you guys to, it consists of state-of-the-art lubrication and an aerospace catalytic fuel treatment that uses a tandem approach targeting fuel combustion and lubricating, providing dual air quality and environmental benefits of reducing fuel consumption, virtually eliminating toxic emissions from fuel consumed, and generating revenue through carbon credit programs, and a significant reduction in all maintenance processes. It is an emissions reduction strategy applicable to diesel and gasoline engines, as well as increasing overall lubrication. It is highly recommended for use in gearboxes, power transmission equipment, where the reduction of friction and heat will significantly prolong gear and bearing life, reducing expensive downtime and maintenance. Originating from NASA, our fuel catalyst uses a unique aerospace engineered combustion catalyst that accelerates and modifies diesel and gasoline fuel combustion to achieve complete utilization of hydrocarbons. This process has many benefits. Most importantly, it eliminates the creation of excess emissions at the source. Unlike others, our metal-based lubrication adds physical lubricating qualities to standard and synthetic oils. These physical components protect moving parts and dramatically increase the lubrication value of oil. They are resistant to moisture and dirt and even continue to lubricate in the absence of direct lubrication. Ladies and gentlemen, MXM technology is EPA registered since June of 1984. It has been proven with 12 years and over 302 million miles of documented testing and scientific research by the top 2 independent laboratories in our nation. Maximizer acquisition costs are minute when compared to other emission reduction or control strategies. They produce a positive benefit to cost and a return on investment almost immediately. Implementation requires no vehicle modification and coverage for a broad range of control groups, while substantial results are always achieved. Ladies and gentlemen, that just means that our technology cannot fail. MXM technology is truly a pennies per gallon air pollution solution. It was introduced decades ahead of its time. It has been closely held secret, benefiting a privileged few, but now it is an ever-present necessity for today, for the future, and for our world. So, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Mr. Mayor, if you have a system that can produce more with the least amount of taxpayers' money, a technology that will add immediate cost savings that can be measured with visible and scientific results in terms of financial, reliability, maintainability of all equipment, including hydraulic systems that are used on sanitation trucks, dump trucks, and all construction equipment, would this be of interest to you? I'd like to end it there. I would like to refer everyone to our website. I usually pass out business cards, but you know, we're trying that green technology thing too. Everybody's looking for that green solution. So I have a virtual business card with my website, and if you guys would text 55255 to MXM Technology, Mary X-Ray Mary Technology, then I would encourage all you to listen at the videos, but also click on the source book, because the source book is the source to all our scientific data and research, once again, by the top 2 laboratories in the nation.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions, anyone?
No,
No
thanks.
question. Okay, thank you.
Okay. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say this. I talked to a lady the other day, very nice lady, Mrs. Conway. And Mrs. Conway and I discussed how our world has just changed since the beginning of the new century with new technology, new ideas, creativity, and innovation. This technology is all rolled up to one, save the city of Romulus hundreds of thousands of dollars almost immediately, and it could be proved with all our documentation. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Any other comments from the audience? Ms. Lemon?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Treasurer, audience. Jan Lemon, Chairman of the Cemetery Board of Trustees. Another year is ending tomorrow evening. We always end our meetings in October because of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and so on. I cannot thank the Pastor Bob for what he has made this cemetery look like. His men, their work, their effort. I get so many comments every day, I just cannot express how grateful. It has taken a long time to get this far, and we're going to move forward. But right now, it's just absolutely beautiful. The mayor, the DPW, Mr. Dickerson, council people, all of you who have supported me with all my many complaints, I cannot thank you enough. It's beautiful. Now, on a lifetime resident note, we have a landmark in our town. that was there from the time I was very small. And that's the Romulus Bowling Alley. I think we have to give them just a ton of credit for what they're doing to that building. The outside of the building is just fabulous. They're working hard every day. I have not yet been inside, but I hear the inside is getting fixed just as nice. Kudos go out to those people. They took their building back from someone who didn't care, and they brought our landmark back to what it should be. And I just think the Parecki family needs compliments for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms.
I'd like to
Makowski.
add to that. Ms. Lemon, thank you so much for bringing that up. Also, not only do they need our good thoughts, but they need our business. Get in there and do some bowling. It's a lifetime sport. You know, you can start, our youngsters started at 3 years old and they're still bowling. So please get out there and support your local businesses.
Right, by all means. Any other comments from the audience? Yes, Ms. Gina.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents of Romulus, and everyone in the audience. I'm Gina Wilson Stewart, 10748 West Jefferson, River Rouge, publisher of the Telegram newspaper. I'd just like to try to address people during the month of October because we celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We wear pink every day. My mom survived 10 years before she passed away, and we do it every day. So we did the 3-day, and we do the Carmanos every year. But, you know, is another month, another celebration of awareness that goes on in October, too, that doesn't get a lot of notice, and that's domestic violence awareness. With breast cancer awareness, one out of 8 women that's born today will get breast cancer throughout their lifetime. So that's a huge statistic. But for domestic violence, 1.5 million high school students are victims of domestic violence. Now that's a huge number when you think about they're young, you know, they're under 18 years old and they're already victims of domestic violence. So we need to do a little bit more in getting the word out about that. And when you really think about it, the statistics say that each day 3 women die because of domestic violence. And so I know we celebrate breast cancer awareness, wear our pink, but we also need to think about domestic violence. The color is purple. So we do 2 weeks in the Telegram with pink, and then we do 2 weeks for purple, just so we can continue to get the word out, because it's definitely needed. So that was my words. I do know that next week we're starting our distracted driving pledge. I confess I'm a distracted driver. In my column last week I wrote that I need anonymous. You don't have Alcoholic Anonymous? I need distracted driving anonymous, because I text, I drive, I eat, I do all this stuff while I'm driving. I'm just confessing. I do that. So next week for the months of November and December, we're trying to get people to take the pledge to drive while you're driving. That's all you need to do. Just drive. No eating, no putting on makeup, no drinking pop. Just drive for 2 months. So we'll have the pledge forms out next week, and we're just going to try to do a little competition between the cities to see how many people we can get actually to take the pledge to just drive while you're driving. So I'll tell you guys more about it next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? No more comments? We'll close that part out. Deputy Clerk.
8 is unfinished business. 9 is new business.
John?
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
Yes, I just want to commend the staff of the RAC for another great RAC retreat. Last night was a RAC retreat at the RAC, and it was the first time I had gone, and it was a great event. So if you have never gone, plan next year to attend. There's games for the kids. They get lots of candy, more candy than they could possibly need. And it was just a great time to see all the people in the community that came out. Thank you.
Thank you.
10 is communication.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Makowski?
Yes, I want to talk to you about the library, a couple things. First, I'd like to thank, there are quite a few people who have recently donated to the library. The Friends of the Library, of course, staunch supporters, and they've put some money towards upgrades to the children's area, and the Romulus Rotary has matched that. Thank you. In addition, the Romulus Rotary has put together some funds for a Lego club for grades K through 5, and they're matching that for the Romulus Friends as well. In addition, the Romulus Rotary has put some money forth to match, to donate books for, they've got speakers monthly, and sometimes the speakers have written books, so those books, they're donating the money to purchase those books at the library. And then the library staff, of course, they put together a family movie night gift basket for a raffle to raise money for the Friends. And then lastly, this is, we've had some supporters through the years, former director of the library and a great supporter of the Friends group. And they're having some health issues right now, and I just would like, our community to just come together and send them positive wishes and prayers for Diane Hazen and Jan Conrad. They're just wonderful people, and they're having some challenges, so send your thoughts and wishes their way. Thank you.
Thank you. I just have something, excuse me. I just want to mention Michigan State and Michigan for a well-played game for both teams. Thank you.
Number 11 is warrant 15-20.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 15-20 in the following amounts. General Fund, $107,983.29. Major Street Fund, $6,392. Local Street Fund, $701.76. Cable TV, $22.08. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $13,169.14. Community Employee Activity, wait a minute, $3,857.04. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $185. 911 Service Fund, $3,474.60. NARC Forfeiture State, $30,259.77. Library Fund, $16,236.20. DDA is $424.58. Tifa District 2, $1,105,552.75. Water and Sewer Fund, $242,258.56. Motor Vehicle Fund, $21,761.38. Technology Services, $6,549.22. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $187,121.95. Revolving Fund, $14,175. General Tax Fund, $5,972.50. Current tax, $13,618,929.16. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $4,931.29. Payroll Fund, $84,755.89, for a grand total of $15,474,713.16.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Makowski, to pay warrant number 15-20 for $15,471,760.40. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant 15-20 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.